We're in today with the R7 360. This is a 2015 video card with 768 shaders. It's got 2 gig of VRAM GDDR5 Hynix, 128 bits bus width with DirectX 12 support, running at 1050 megahertz on the core clock and 1625 megahertz on the memory clock. We're gonna pair it up with this Intel Xeon X5687 with 3.6 gig base clock, and we're gonna see how it's running with 4 cores and 8 threads. Let's jump in a couple of games and see how the whole system is holding. Let's start with Counter-Strike 2 and see how the game is performing on 1080p with everything on low. I actually put it on low preset, and then I put dynamic range and the fidelity super resolution on performance. Can you play Counter-Strike with the system? Look at that. Oh, nice knifing. It's possible to play with this computer, this platform, this HP C400 is doing a fantastic job, but the CPU, you can actually see that some cores and some threads are maxed out. Even though I use throttle stop, to try to to put, how should I say, the multiplier as high as possible so you can get the CPU running to 2866 megahertz at best, with a couple of more hundreds of megahertz on the clock speed, So if that doesn't help, that means, the platform is not that young. You can actually see the RAM managed to reach 8 gig of system RAM. Yeah, it should be a clue that old computers are struggling to play Counter-Strike. But on the GPU side, you can actually see that the GPU is using nearly 50 watts consumption. This is a video card that doesn't have external power supply, so 50 watts, it's nearly on the limit because it's using only the PCI Express power, that is 75. And seeing a video card nearly to 50, it's a lot, for this. So with this GPU at maximum, you can see that it's 100% loaded, 1.9 gig of VRAM utilized. With 2500 RPM, the GPU stays on 70 degrees. I think you have to max out the fan in order to get better temps. But in this situation, yeah, you can actually see that the whole system is on its knees. So you have to select really, really well the games. Let's take a look and see how PUBG is working with this video card. I'm on 70% render scale with very low settings on DirectX 11. Yeah, I think this is very appropriate for the system. Let's jump in. Let's take a swing on the main road and see if we can find a car. Plonker, he managed to hit me with the car. Alright, so the GPU is maxed out, the core is maxed out, 1.8 gig of VRAM. Whoa, look at this. It's kind of creepy to see this video card on maximum dose. Seriously, 70 degrees. 70 degrees because the GPU is on maximum load. Seriously, it's using 1.8 gig of VRAM, sitting around 70 degrees, and is delivering around 60 FPS on average with 7 minimals and 26 on 1%. That's a good performance from the video card. I think lowering to 900p, the GPU will benefit from this and have better minimals and 1%. This is my opinion. 900p or 1050 or something. Try to lower the resolution because I'm on 70% render scale now and the GPU it's on maximum. So if you're indoors with a character, you get 41 and 47 on minimals and 1%. That's what I want from a game like this. If this number will be forever, it will be fantastic, seriously. So I'm 100% it doesn't stay like that, but I want to see how the CPU is holding. So 70 FPS on average, 35 on minimals and 44 on 1% with nearly 10 gig of system RAM. Now 50-60% load on the core. You can actually see the cores are reaching 60%, but there's a couple of threads that are maxed out. So the problem today is the threads and the GPU. It's like a sweet balance in between them. Seriously, this R7 360 with this CPU, it's like a sweet spot in the gaming area. Seriously, I like the experience. Let's jump into Dota and see how the game is performing with the system. I'm actually curious which one is going to bottleneck, the CPU or the GPU. Let's jump in. The CPU and the GPU, they are bottlenecking. Look at the CPU in this situation. You can actually see a couple of threads going bananas. Look at that. This is the reason. Okay, so the CPU and the GPU in some situations are lowering the FPS. There's no only one component that is doing the problem. Look at that. Come on, Bristleback. Come on, come on, come on. You the man, you the man. Apparently managed to survive. All right. Overall, the system is doing fantastic. You can actually see in a team fight that the whole system is okay with delivering the performance. You have to put it on minimal in order to get that good averages. So in this situation, the video card with low details is using only 1 gig of VRAMs and intermittent full load on this video card. Is it good? Yeah, it's good, but this is the only way to play. In this situation, the CPU, you can actually see the threads are being maxed out, and there's no way you can dodge this because of the CPU. So the CPU is doing the job, but there's a couple of threads that are lagging. You know, lagging. I mean, they are being used at maximum. Let's jump into War Thunder and see how the game is running with the system on medium details. Let's see how the system is holding. So in this situation, we got 1.8 gig of VRAM utilized, maximum core load on the GPU. Yeah, I can't complain here. It's not okay. And on the system, 6.1 gig of system RAM used and 40% load on the 50% load on the CPU. It's okay overall, you know, but I think we need to do much better with the system. Let's see on the CPU side how we're doing. Yeah, the cores and the threads are reaching maximum. So, you know what? I changed my mind. There is no problem with the system. The system being utilized at maximum. The CPU is on maximum. The GPU is on maximum. Look at that. In some cases, the threads and the cores are maxed. Whoa. GPU memory allocated 2.7. I think this is with the page files or something, because when I put on average, you can see that is 1.8 utilized from the GPU. So I'm thinking that he's using some type of page file. They're totally different on this occasion. You know, see, it's 2.7 memory allocated. From what? Memory shared from the system. Don't know, seriously. But yeah, 60 FPS on medium details. If you are okay with lowering the details, I think you can definitely play the games on lower quality. Let's jump into the GTA 5 with DirectX 10 and 1080p with this computer on normal details. I want to see how the GPU and the CPU is running on maximum. I want to get the best FPS ever with this game and see how the whole system is holding online GTA 5. Let's jump in. What is lagging in our situation with this computer? Seriously, because I got like 45 FPS on average, 29 on minimal, and 35 on 1%. This is not the right number, seriously, with this computer. I mean, you can clearly see that the CPU and the GPU is doing a fantastic job overall, but something is not okay. And of course, the threads are being utilized here in GTA 5, so hence why I got only 45 FPS. I mean, the GPU is doing the job. You know, you can actually see if it's on. Sometimes it's on maximum load, but that shouldn't be the problem in this case because it's only 1.7 gig of VRAM utilized. So 69 degrees on the GPU. Nice. It's working really good, you know, the GPU. It's okay with the GTA 5, but it's not okay with the CPU. And the threads in this case are the one that need to be blamed. In some cases, you need a better CPU, but with this occasion, the CPU, it's not strong enough to push this video card. Let's jump into Fortnite and see how the game is holding with 1080p on performance mode, which everything on low details. So do I like how the GPU and the CPU is performing? I really like it. I really like how it's performing in this situation. It's not a bad configuration, you know, it's just, yeah, this is the only amount of performance that I can get from this system. On the GPU side, apparently, we are using nearly 50 watts consumption, and it's not that bad, but you started to get 71 degrees on the GPU, and you need better RPM. Even in this situation, you can clearly see that with maximum render scale, you get good FPS. There is a possibility in order for you to get even better performance by lowering the render scale, then you will get better minimals and 1%. bush in the building. Who the throw a bush in the building? Let's jump into Battlefield 5 and see how it's running. I have some really horrible details here, but there's other Battlefields I think that will run much better. So I have 50% render scale, 1080p with low details, and yeah, I want to show you how the system is working like this, because I never played this game for a very long time. And yeah, I think actually I put Battlefield 3 or Battlefield 4 or Battlefield 1 instead of Battlefield 5. Seriously. Dude, the system is on its knees, like 10.3 gig of system RAM, 90%. The cores are maxed out, the threads are maxed out. What do you expect more from this? Seriously, look at it. On the overall performance, the CPU and the GPU is maxed out. So in this case, we get like 40-50 FPS on average with 24 on minimal and 32 on 1%. 1.8 gig of VRAM is being utilized here. So in this situation, you can actually see that the GPU and the CPU is maxed out to its bones, you know. So the GPU is 69 degrees, 70 degrees it's reaching, but the culprit in this situation is this, you know, the CPU, that the cores and the threads are maximum. There is nothing you can do here, but the CPU, it's kind of slow, you know, in this case. Do I like how it's working? Well, I wouldn't recommend this. I would think going for a Battlefield, an older Battlefield will be very ideal, because you need a proper CPU in this case. And yeah, this is not very capable of delivering that performance. I think on 720p it will be okay, but it's Battlefield 5, so I think a good CPU, it's ideal in this case. Do I like the system overall? Yeah, I like the system overall. I like how it's performing. I like this idea of HP or MPC, just slapping a lot of CPUs inside. And yeah, I don't know what you think about the system or the GPU, but do make sure you smash that like button if you like the benchmark. If you have any suggestion, please leave them in the comment section, because that's the way I can track everybody's suggestion. And yeah, if you're new, make sure you subscribe, and I will see you very soon.